Oh man, it's just a damn great morning. Coming to you live from the 305 Miami, the place where to some hospitality doesn't really exist. To others, like myself, I have found some of the most remarkable people, places, and experiences in this city. And it's mostly because people don't believe that you can. Huh. Huh. Wild. Absolutely wild. Who would have thought? You can act. I'm so tired. You know what? I preach a lot to people about journaling and the benefits of it because of how much it's transformed my life. If you ever find yourself stuck on a decision or frustrated with people or repeating the same kind of patterns over and over and over again, and you still haven't tried handwriting something in a journal, you're tripping. You're tripping. It is the best beginning to getting over whatever it may be that's stuck in your head. You have to get it out. Your brain only has a certain amount of decision making power a day. It's like a gas tank, and you're going to go ahead and fill it with worry. You're going to go ahead and fill it with everything that's not right now. Miami is so unique and counterintuitive to so many places. And because of that, I find myself feeling crazy a lot of times because I'm like, wait a second, this is just normal to me. This is normal to me as a Texan to smile at people. One of my absolute biggest suggestions to anybody in hospitality is high energy, big smile. Because the most disarming thing that somebody can respond to is a happy go lucky motherfucker that just seems like delusionally stupid, but just happy to be alive. Now, that took me some time to figure out how to go ahead and portray that image, if you will, because I was working at Zuma as a server, and I was like, oh, I'm so tired of getting asked to do bullshit because the people that came to Zuma at the time were just peacocking, clout chasing, flashy motherfuckers, right? And I just didn't like them asking me for shit because they weren't listening to their server or somebody else that could have told them how to, whatever. It kind of resulted from them just never treating people that worked in the biz like people. So you can tell who those people are. It's pretty easy. And so what I did was I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and figure out a way to make sure that nobody will really trust me to ask me for something, but they won't think that I'm being standoffish. So what I did was put this dumb happy look on my face, and she's like, and I made myself look so kind of dumb and happy that nobody would ask me for something because they're like, oh, can he do it? But at the same time, again, like I said, never had somebody say, oh, he's not attentive. And that's where I learned about fine dining. The amount of money we made at Zuma back in the day was crazy. And then after I lost that job because I didn't know how to handle alcohol or cocaine after making a lot of fucking money a month, I had to humble myself. I went out in a blaze of glory and then had to go into a significantly less paying role, albeit for a more renowned chef. The fact of the matter still stood. I was in a casual dining environment with fine dining training and a attention to detail and guest experience that not many people matched or seemed to understand the value of having. So what I did was got mad a lot. I would get upset at the things that my team was doing. Like, I'm just thinking to myself, why does nobody seem to put more effort into this? There's so many opportunities in waiting tables and bartending in any job role that you have. If you're good at it, it makes you stand out. Yet nobody wants to do that in this city. But it's okay, because what happened is I was able to figure out a way to turn the frustrations into something of a solution at the time. I took everything that made me mad in the service that could have been done better, and I started writing it. This could have been done better this way. This could have been done better. This, da, 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 I would have done this, da, 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 da. All right. And then I started a blog about being a waiter. It's like not another food blog, because who the fuck has ever made a waiter blog? It was told from the perspective of me, the waiter, and you, the guest at the table. It's me going over stuff. It's pretty cool. I'll go ahead and release it soon. It's only been, golly, maybe 2018 I wrote this. I'm not sure. That being said, I started realizing after 4 of these that it wasn't going to hit like I needed it to. So I was like, wait a second, how can I go ahead and lace solutions in a medium that people won't suspect that they'll learn from? And I was like, well, waiters and bartenders aren't gonna read a blog like this, so maybe I should go ahead and learn how to use a camera, because I just only see big boobs and big butts being posted on restaurants' pages, and I'm like, wait, these girls are never the people that are there. None of them work there. They're all staged, posed, and full of shit. This is not even valuable to anybody. Why did somebody think that this would be useful for a restaurant? Why does sex sell on a restaurant? It might work for the initial foot traffic, It does not get people coming back though. People go to places for the name. They go back because somebody there made them feel some type of way. I don't know how many times I have to tell the world this, but thank God certain people are starting to listen, because it is making a difference. I can tell that you care about your team and what's happening. It seems like it's building a foundation and a culture in a city that doesn't seem to have anything other than greedy people that are willing to run your checkup one time because they know you have the money. Oh my God, if this city could just learn that long money is way, way better than quick money. So much impatience, and I get it. We're an instant gratification type of society. I love cutting grass. I love drawing something up. That instant gratification is fucking awesome. It's a dopamine hit. But it's not how we need to be guiding ourselves. We need to be guiding ourselves towards peaceful things that make us feel fulfilled and safe, things that make us feel excited or worried. Both of those feelings are cortisol producing types of reactions. And so what that does is that makes cancer grow faster. Cortisol produces more cancer growth. Nobody wants that. As a cancer survivor, I'll tell you right now, getting my mind to a peaceful state was one of the greatest accomplishments that I've been able to achieve, because I now don't worry about a single thing. Now it's been 8 years of that kind of no worry. Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna not make it? Have I made it? Have I not made it? And then after visiting my folks for the 3rd time in 12 years, my dad finally told me that he was proud of the work that I'd put in, and he could see a real change in things. And that was a moment in my life that I felt accomplished. And I was like, wait a second. My parents' validation is really all I needed to know that I was doing something with my life. Now, I've had plenty of people go ahead and comment to me privately about how much value they find in the things that I produce and the things that I suggest and the way that I approach things. I get that kind of appreciation and I cherish it. But it didn't make me feel as fulfilled as hearing from somebody that adopted and raised me. Let me be honest. I had the greatest life any kid could ever want. And I had to move somewhere where I would fall on my face countless times alone to figure out how to get back up. And until I was able to do that, I had no idea how real the possibility of creating my own future and my own happiness was. I had to break every conventional mindset that I had that cutting your parents and your family and your friends off means you hate them. It doesn't. It means that you have to focus on yourself. It means that you're willing to sacrifice the most important people to you because you know what you have to do for yourself is more important than maintaining social relationships. It takes being willing to sacrifice anything to realize that you're in charge of your life. It takes shattering all sorts of perspectives that we're grown up believing to go ahead and start growing. It takes completely questioning our identity and our beliefs so that we're able to reformulate them and really ground ourselves in knowing why we believe them. Anytime I ask a Christian about something that might make them feel uneasy about Christianity, it's not designed to make them question their faith and then feel guilty. It's designed to make them really dive into it and know that God is there to comfort you. It's okay to question the faith as long as you're doing it with the intention to understand it. Most of us don't know what's real in life. We're only told science is this and history is that and religion is this and whatever is that. It's not always real. What's real is right now. And if you're watching this and if you're hearing this, then you're okay. Unless somebody's hitting you at this very moment, then you're safe. And you need to remember that. Statistically, you've always ended up okay. Literally. How often do you think back to that when you get worried or anxious? Well, it's because it's not what you're used to. It's time to break out of habits. It's time to break out of traditional ways of doing things, thinking of things, and limiting ourselves and opening up our future to what we're capable of. A lot of the memes that I find online, I share or save, and I do so because I want to tailor the algorithm to match my mindset and to teach me things, whether it be spiritual, financial, relationship, hospitality, all sorts of things. I want to learn if I'm not going to be able to get off of this toxic, addictive platform. But it's one thing to go ahead and share these memes. It's another thing to go ahead and save them. It's another thing to screenshot them. But where you can go ahead and commit them to a lifestyle and memory and truth in your life is by rewriting them. Oh, journaling. That's right. Creating 16 neural pathways to open so that you're going and memorizing these things a little bit better than if you were to just read them. Because what is it when we go to learn some new information at a course or whatever? It is about 90% of information that we lose if just listening. That's crazy. Who wants to forget things? So I've got a journal, and it's called "I Didn't Say That," and all these are all they're fortunes that I've received since starting this journal. Anyways, more things people said that I didn't say, but these are all pieces of advice that I found value in and thought that they would be good to commit to my life. All right. Perfect section. These are quotes from Matt Grotzman. It says, golly, these lights that I have shining on me are bright as hell. Anyways, so your role isn't to conform to what exists, it's to create what doesn't. Huh. And if there's one way of creating things that I do, it is that I don't prepare for my shoots and I don't stage anything. I go into places, I catch a vibe, and I produce authentic moments that were there because I just don't see it happening enough. I don't want everybody to know the camera's there. Those are real photographers and real videographers that have the composition and really know-how about it all. I don't want to be that, and I've always told people I don't want to be that because I want to go ahead and use a camera as a tool to go ahead and break into the minds of those that I'm shooting with so that I'm able to go ahead and show them that there's new ways of looking at things that might offer them a little bit of peace and fulfillment in their future. Why? Because those that end up listening to that always end up paying it forward. Weird. That means that the network that I'm creating is positive, and that means that it's a genuine, benevolent group of people that have the mindset of being selfishly selfless and putting others' needs and ways to help them first. Because why? Because we always get taken care of. In the long run, if we don't worry about ourselves and we just trust the process, you're exactly where you have to be or you need to be. You have exactly what you need to have. To want something is to be unappreciative of right now. Imagine you already got these things that you want. Imagine it. Okay, now what? Now you're going to want something else, right? Now you're going to need more. Now you're going to need to go ahead and put another number on, whatever it is. Find a way to become happy and appreciative and grateful for what you have in this very moment you're listening to this. If you have to stop it and just write down, I appreciate somebody putting this into words, somebody, whatever it may be. Just write. Text wants me to fucking write something down, and that's it. Just don't stop for 5 minutes. Write the words that come to your mind. What do you have to lose? Nothing. Next thing in there says, don't look to what everyone else is doing unless it's to make it better and different. What comes through you is far more powerful than what comes outside of you. Another thing, believe in yourself and it'll always be inherent in what you do. I don't have to worry about my suggestions, advice, and words being misunderstood because at the end of the day, they're always designed to benefit the people that I'm speaking with. And that's it, plain and simple. I've never tried to go ahead and put something out there that'll harm somebody because I don't want that. My life has been blessing on blessing on blessing from the moment that I was born. I was given a better life. Why would I not want to pay forward these things to other people? I fucking carry a doggy trash little thing in my bag. My roommates have dogs. I don't. But what I was taught was in camping and in Boy Scouts, when you go somewhere and you find it beautiful, then you need to leave it nicer than when you found it. So when I go somewhere and I go ahead and I smoke, I'm not going to leave that area dirty. I want people to also enjoy any time that they might spend out there. So I carry little doggy bags just to pick up a little, not that much trash, it's just a few things. Why? Because I appreciate it. There are ways to show appreciation. Talk is cheap. It don't mean shit. All of this is bullshit, technically. Except that I have the footage of everything that I'm speaking about. I just don't post it because I don't want to do performative types of content. I don't think that by voicing my opinions on something that's political or religious in a sense that's current or topical, that it's going to go ahead and influence change. The only thing I can do to make this lifetime better is by working on myself, how I respond to things, how I treat people, how I live my life. And that is the only way that I'm able to affect change, whether it be through inspiration or through real action. I'm fucking so tired of seeing all these people just post political shit on their Instagrams like it does something. Oh, it's awareness. Shut the fuck up, dude. Could you not give yourself 1 second to consider whether or not that post was going to do anything for anybody, or if it was just going to go ahead and resonate and echo in your echo chamber of people that will give you the little hearts for it? Cool. You posted something about a war in insert whatever foreign country you want, and you got a bunch of little hearts on the responses. Does that make it better? No, that's a narcissistic way to fulfill something within yourself. What does that mean? That means that you need to go ahead and examine what you're using social media for and if it's really benefiting your life. These numbers don't mean shit. They never have. Influencer culture is dying. Why? Because it's not that valuable. You want to go copy somebody else? Cool. You want to go look like everybody else? I walked out of work today into Brickell and I saw all these girls. Bro, they all look the fucking same. They all look the same. Just trying too hard for people that really don't give a fuck. The biggest people in your life on your journeys, should you choose to create something or be in charge of your happiness for real, your biggest supporters are going to be strangers. You'll discover why on your path, but I don't know if we can see it from here. There's a building. 1000 Museum. My restaurant was at the top of that building. I took that job from a manager of mine when I worked at Novikov because I cared about the details. And I was just a waiter. He was my boss. He told me one time, he chastised me. He said to me, Tex, do you think maybe you're thinking too far ahead for the guests? And I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, I have 3 or 4 kitchens and I have to course out all these Asian fusion dishes to come out flowing to the table, and I'm going and looking at which chefs I have to go ahead and consider where their shortcomings might be. I know one chef might put something out faster and another one does it a little slower or vice versa, so I'm going to go ahead and ring things in according to those things, the details, the reality of shit. Now, where I fucked up is that wasn't protocol. You're supposed to do things a certain way, despite how you may feel. That's a lesson learned. But at the same time, my boss was like, dude, do you think you're thinking too far ahead for the guest? And that structure of that word structure, that sentence structure blew my fucking mind. Like, are you serious? Am I thinking too far ahead for what? How can we be doing what? Oh. But he's part of the classic old school Miamians that went ahead and made their money on helping people peacock at their tables and helping people flash their money, and that's well and good. That still exists out here, but that's not hospitality. Hospitality is going and taking extra care in moments that you feel called to, in a sense. When you clock in, it's not you clocking in to make money for you. If that's the way that you're looking at things, then I will go ahead and make a suggestion. Open your fucking mind and start thinking in more of a team atmosphere, teamwork mindset, because unless you're able to help the people that work in the venues that you work in, then guess what? Who the fuck's gonna want to help you? If you don't think about ways to make lives easier in your jobs and restaurants and bars, and do not expect things to start becoming easier for you. Karma's not a tit for tat. I've noticed it's more of an intention thing. I want people to enjoy eating and drinking when they come and they visit me. Why? Because I've been doing it since the beginning of time, and I'm able to affect something humans have been doing since the beginning of time without having to take my clothes off. Sometimes I do to present bottles, or at least I did in the past. I created Bottle Bro, but this industry is the human touch. And everybody just wants to be so cold in it. So expecting, so entitled, so quick to anger. Man, if a guest says something to me that triggers me, what I've learned is that the people that piss me off when they come into the restaurant first, almost guaranteed, they're going to accidentally become a very close friend of mine. I can't explain why. I just know that as soon as I'm talking shit about a guest that's fucking acting entitled or whatever they may be doing, later on that evening, I accidentally become their either go-to person in the venue or their favorite person in the venue. And I'm not even trying. I'm frustrated as fuck. But at this point in my life, I go ahead and I use that as a tool. All right, fuck, this person's pissing me off. It might take them a couple times to come in and I'm not going to deal with them, or I'll send somebody else because it's better for their experience. But it really came full circle the other day that now I have friends in the bar that I work at that they're a bit intense, and they're they're just different. Not bad. They're just a lot at the beginning. And I know that I'm the same way to people. So I'm like, wait a second, I can't be the one fucking getting upset at this because I'm sure I do this to other people. Let me give them a second and let me breathe. And sure enough, I became close with these people and found a lot of things in common with them. And I wouldn't have done that had I not been able to look in, figure out what was going on with myself. You can't do that unless you're willing to admit that you can be wrong and that it's okay to be wrong. To be wrong about something does not mean you're a bad person. Own it, fucking learn from it, and move the fuck on. If your boss calls you out for something at work, why get upset? Just say, okay, I hear you, and literally try to do better next time. One of the biggest compliments that I get at the bar that I work at now is, yo, is this your spot? And I'm like, no, absolutely no, I'm not that creative. I'm an addicted motherfucker to hospitality. This is all a science to me. I study this every day like I get paid to do it. But where I work is just, it's awesome. My boss is awesome. The restaurant that we share space with, the employees are awesome. Corvert's awesome. The guests that are coming in that we're impressing are awesome. My team is awesome. We can say some crazy, wild shit to each other that normally in Miami would go ahead and get you a little bit of a enemy on your team. Except where I work, we go ahead and know that we mean well with it. And that the person that's telling us this fucking real truth may be right. Francisco loves to tell me, hey, Tex, you have your back to the guest. Oh, right. Dude, this kid is as old as I've been as... Francisco is almost as young as the years I've been in hospitality. I'm 21, he's like 23, 24. And he's telling me things. Why? Because I'm not too arrogant to believe that a young person can teach me something. If I need to be called on my shit, I need to be called on my shit, and I appreciate anybody that doesn't. With the intention to achieve a greater goal. If my team thinks that I'm not doing something up to par, then they're the first that need to go ahead and tell me that. I don't want to hear it from a guest. We shouldn't read it in a review. In fact, we don't because we have a perfect 5-star on Google. But hospitality, what I love, is it's a stigma. Being a bartender, being a waiter is a stigma. And it doesn't have to be. You're the one putting all these fucking, there's stigmas on it. This is cheesy, but Martin Luther King said if you're going to be a garbage man, be the best garbage man. Yo, if you're going to be a bartender, be the best bartender. If you're going to be a server, be the best server. If you're going to be a dishwasher, be the best dishwasher. Why? Because a title shouldn't define you. You should be putting in that honest effort in everything that you're doing. And if you're not, you got to ask yourself why. A lot of shadow work that people can do that if you just journal, if you just write it down, it becomes a lot easier. If you take a walk for 20 minutes without anything in your ears, nothing in just like distracting you, you'll actually produce theta brainwaves. And you know where theta brainwaves are normally found? It's when you're in the shower. What happens when you're in the shower? You problem solve, or you have ideas. And guess what? Wouldn't it be cool to be able to make yourself do that when you need it to, or when you want to? Well, there are ways. You just have to shake what you think is true. You just have to shake what you think is possible. You have to shake all of these things. When I became addicted to drugs, I'm addicted to drugs. I was a perfect Christian kid. I got the best Christian boy award in 7th grade. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I was in the Honor Society of Boy Scouting. And I'm addicted to drugs? Are you serious? Well, that shattered that, like, assumption. You know, it can never happen to me. Then you have that same month that I got clean from Oxycontin the first time, I found out that I had testicular cancer. Why? Because when I was off the painkillers, then I could feel the pain in my lower back down here. And testicular cancer localizes in either the abdomen or the lower back. And now I could feel it. It was a stretch out that I could never stretch out. Muscle that I could never stretch. Go back to the doctor. They're like, no, I don't think it's testicular cancer, but let's go ahead and do an ultrasound to make sure. Boom. Sure enough, that motherfucker was over half the size of my ball. Alrighty. So they took him. Boom. I got cancer when I was 20. I went through my fucking 21st birthday in chemo. I was hammered the entire time. What did they tell me in chemo? Do not drink alcohol. Why? Because it's not good for cancer. That's another note. Fuck this goddamn pink washing bullshit that people do for cancer awareness, because that's a very, very big trigger for me. Not the point right now. Point is, found out I was addicted to drugs. Boom. Had to accept it. So I did. Found out I had cancer. Took a second, but I figured out a way to accept it, and I did. All of these things in our lives that we think are certain ways, they don't have to be. They're our interpretation. The way that you look at life out there is the way that you see things. The way that you talk about certain situations in your life is the way you perceive things. If you're just trying to complain about, oh my God, I didn't get this, or I didn't get that, or I need this, or I need that, bro, shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a fuck. Talk about these things that you did to go ahead and try to achieve them. What did you do? What kind of effort did you make? What did you notice along your journey? What does that do, really? That makes it to where when you're speaking, you're talking about solutions and you're talking about constructive ways to deal with things and not just adding hot air, bitching, and moaning. Again, it's just like the performative social media posting. It does fucking nothing for you or anyone else other than make us think like, I'm kind of acting like a little bitch right now. And you don't have to. You don't have to. I get it. They say all press is, there's no such thing as bad press. Well, guess what? There's such thing as positive circle upwards. There is such thing as everyone can eat at the top. There's enough room at the top. If you help each other get there. That concept is odd for some, though, because they're afraid that people will take things from them. So they gatekeep and they hide things and they try to be mischievous and sneaky. And guess what? Bro, if somebody fucked you over, they didn't pay you, they didn't do whatever you expect them to do, let it go. Let it fucking go as soon as you fucking can. Let it go. My doctor, when he took out my ball, he fucked up the surgery. I could have sued him for malpractice. What did I do? No. Bro, learn from that shit. I want to know that you're apologetic of it. And he was. My mother fucking scolded him in the most... she went in on him in the most respectful, kind way that a Southern woman does. Didn't use a single curse word, didn't raise her voice once, but gave him that disappointed, how could you kind of talk. We could have sued him, but we're not going to do that. Why? Because there is no need. What's that going to do for me? Surgery was already over. Now I get a payout because I want to go ahead and really fuck up somebody else's life. He already fucked up mine. I don't need to continue that cycle. Things can start and stop with you. They can, and they can continue with you. You can maintain them. You can enable friends to continue their terrible behavior by never calling them on it. Well, we don't call them on it because we haven't done the work on ourselves, so that makes sense. But once you start doing the work on yourself, you understand your worth. Once you understand that forcing people to see you is not the way to go, those that will vibe with you will vibe with you. Be okay to make new friends. Be okay to lose friends. Be okay in knowing that nothing lasts forever and everything changes. Do you remember the last day that you played outside before you went into, an older level of schooling? No, nobody ever tells you that it's going to be the last time you do something until it is later down the road. And guess what? You sit there with nostalgia because you didn't know how to appreciate it in the time that it was happening. That's what that's what I am working my butt off to help others understand, is that you are in charge of your happiness. I am in charge of my happiness. And the sooner we understand our part in this being that it's nobody else's fault for anything that we think or any way that we respond other than our own fault. Once we take accountability, once we kill our ego and learn that it's all a process, it's all a journey, it's not a destination. In fact, every destination you get to, you get bored, you want to go to a new one. So how do you create a journey that's always fulfilling and it makes you just here and appreciative? Well, that's by finding your ikigai, aka the Japanese, it's the word for purpose of being. What are you good at? What does the world need? What can you get paid to do? And what do you love? If you're able to go ahead and combine all four of those into this Venn diagram, you will never have a day of lacking in your life. Now, do you know what yours is? Do you want to know what yours is? I am more than happy to discuss these things with you. This is something I've been designing for years now, as questions to go ahead and help people that have no idea what they want their future to look like start understanding what it could look like. If you're watching this, you are significantly more powerful than you even know that you are. There's a reason that you found this video. There's a reason that you found entertainment or value, and you're still watching this. Take that into consideration. Take it into consideration that the people in your life should be adding value to it and helping you learn things and challenge yourself. You should also be doing the same for others. For every time I've learned something in this lifetime, especially in Miami, I have done my very best to lead by example and being a man of character so that others, should they ever want to reach this level of like just trust and comfort and whatever's higher than me out there, they can just ask me. I'm not a gatekeeper. Everything I learned because I was hungry enough to find the information. There's no cheat code, there's no shortcut, there's no easy answer. There's just hard fucking work, and after every big struggle and obstacle and test, you're gonna get another one. You're going to get them the entirety of your life. So find a way to look at them with constructive nostalgia, in a sense, because if every mistake led me to right here on this moment recording these things, I can't call those things mistakes in my life. They're not. What they are is they're lessons that really shook me, made an impact on me, and after many years, taught me. Our triggers are our teachers. Things that get you upset, things that get you frustrated, don't take that out on the world. It's not the world's problem, they have enough problems. Deal with it your own fucking self by journaling. Why am I so mad? What's upsetting me? Why did I expect this person to do this? Did I expect them to not do that? And then you find out your reasoning. And what then happens is you understand the distilled belief of yours or expectation you had or mindset that you currently possess. Now, if that is not getting you where you want to be, then go ahead and change it. The easiest way is to do the opposite of everything that you're used to doing. So instead of saying no, say yes. Instead of saying yes, say no. It's that easy. After almost 10 years, I'm cutting my hair on in less than 2 days. My entire identity in this city is attached to my hair. I've been growing it since I started this journey to change the world, and guess what? It scares the living hell out of me to think about cutting it, but that's exactly why I need to cut it. That little bit of comfort and ego that I have on my hair, let it go. It can grow back. People are people. We need to be giving people more empathy. We need to be giving them more consideration, more patience, more grace. Otherwise, we don't deserve a single bit of it ourselves. If a job burned you, oh well, get the fuck over it. If a lover burned you, oh well, figure out how not to go down that path again. If things are continuing to put you in situations that you are not okay with or proud of, fucking do something different. If you have to go stare at yourself in the mirror and have a conversation with yourself, do it. It's what helps me make a lot of fucking realizations in my life. Hell, if you're at this part of the video, then I'll say I'm impressed. I also can't finish shit on joints or blunts to save my life. Yeah. Can you see it? Yeah. So, back when I had my restaurant, that's it. This is the building it was in. We were in the very top of it. Down here, it's like right over here. Oh, no, sorry. This one. This was before Miami had the Michelin. This is before Miami had the Michelin Guide. This is before Miami was known as a culinary scene. And we were doing Michelin-style African dinners. 11 to 15 courses, always changing every week the menu. Would never have the same dish twice except for the chicken yassa. We did African food, 3-ingredient max, French classic preparation style. My chef, Mikey, was from Cuba. His wife, Maine Sal, she's from Senegal. What we did was, or what they did, excuse me, was they tailored the menu journey to go ahead and follow the slave trade route from Africa to the Caribbean. Everything is meticulous, everything is thought out, everything is different but simple and just quality. And now I'm at a bar that does the same thing. Performing ceremonial cocktails for guests that, another full circle. In Scouts, in this Order of the Arrow, when you get inducted into the Order of the Arrow, you go through a camp out ceremony thing. Natives induct you. It's a whole shebang. And guess what I was doing? I was a motherfucker, Mateo. From the darkness, from the forest, we have come with words of warning. That's all I remember from that, but I gave these speeches. Here I am, 20 years later in Miami, in highest rated bar in Miami, the most unique type of space that you've ever been to, that only has a selection of liquors. Yo, we only serve North American, South American, and Caribbean liquor. That's it, period, plain and simple. No vodka drink on the menu. Why? Because that's easy. We're doing things that are more thoughtful, crafted, quality. Some of our cocktails take a week to fucking make. The batches. Is somebody gonna tell my boss, hey, maybe you're thinking too far ahead for the guest? You better believe they're fucking not. Why? Because they could never even figure out how to do that if they wanted to in their own fucking place. They can never lead a team like he does in their own place. There's a lot of things that are happening right now in life that are putting authenticity above bullshit. And that's just been my entire philosophy. We are authentic lives. And over the years, we put on all sorts of masks to go ahead and make times for others more comfortable, or to be mannerly, or to, I don't know what it would be to live in society, but at the expense of who we are. And why? My great-great-grandfather was the first president of Baylor University. My dad helped build their science department by buying all their equipment during the years. And I'm the first in the family to drop out. Gang, I was ranked first in my high school for almost 3 years, and I dropped out of college. Well, it's because I found out you could go to a party on a Tuesday and you didn't have to go to class. So a bunch of things that shattered my assumptions about life ended up allowing me to go ahead and explore things in my own ways, which some of us have to do. Most of us that are going to find out who we are have to do that. This is your sign to go ahead and take that effort onto yourself. Go ahead and talk to me about what your ikigai is. Let's literally try to figure out ways to make your life a little more fulfilling. You don't think you deserve it? I do. I think you deserve it for sure, if you want it. Not everybody does. It's a beautiful sunrise. How's the lighting look if I take it away? Okay, cool. Perfect. No more lighting needed. I'm gonna have to do a little Inception video though. Okay. Basically, your life is what you make of it. If you don't want to believe that, you don't have to. But you have no other choice. But I mean, you don't have to continue the way that you're doing things if you don't want to. Okay? It's your life. It's your happiness. Why wouldn't you want to be in charge of that? Oh shit, iOS 26.420 new emoji. I don't believe this, but stone face, marijuana leaf, rolling papers, joint, clipper, lighter, weed bud. No, that's bullshit. Oh shit. Maybe it is real. Anyways, again, boom. I can be wrong. Somebody showing you where you're wrong is not bad. The people that are going to tell you the hardest things because they believe in you the most and they know you can do it are going to, it's going to come across as fucking rude. But guess what? Those that love you are going to tell you the things that you need to hear, not what you want to hear. You can choose to do with that what you will. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, then change it. If you're not changing, then you're choosing, okay? I've used my story to go ahead and show others that it's possible for them to do what they want to do in this life. And to those that find my methods too much, not enough, weird, different, whatever you may want to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because that is the sign that I need to keep going. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. I give a fuck if I'm able to make real change, if I'm able to grow, if I'm able to show others. And those validating moments on my path, they happen no less than 20 times a day. Literally, no less than 20 moments that just align perfectly. In the most random times, whether it be by grabbing the perfect number of forks or the perfect number of napkins without thinking, or the perfect number of whatever it may be, not something you're counting or expecting, you're just flowing and you're vibing and you're feeling where the peace takes you. Well, guess what? Those are signals that you're on your soul path and that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So for every person that says no to a photo shoot with me, for every 10 or 100 people that say no, there's always one that out of nowhere I randomly meet and then end up creating with, and it will always blow our minds. It is significantly more valuable and impactful than had I done something with somebody that agreed to do it. I don't know how to make sense of it. I just love it. I'm appreciative of all of these serendipitous moments in my life that happen as if it was the first time. Now, am I surprised that they happen? Not at all. Not at all. They're proof that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm just trying, I'm working to create something that allows others to also feel this, you know? I don't know. Here goes my ADD. No, and of course, Instagram puts it up right in front of me. Ta-da. The ultimate goal is getting paid to be yourself, to follow your natural curiosity, to become known as the expert you are, to be compensated for doing things you would do for free because they don't even feel like work for you. All of this is possible, but you must share your work publicly. By the way, this is exactly what I mean. I needed to read this. I need to get this video out today, otherwise it's bullshit. I don't do well with publishing my content like I need to. And guess what? I am more honest about hospitality than most of these consultants that I see posting their theories and their lectures online. Those guys are all so superficial and they're so short-sighted, and I'm going to use this frustration that I have with the fact that they're significantly more popular and have a following that's listening. I'm going to use this fuel to go ahead and get my message out there, because it's been the same thing since I started. Authentic hospitality, authentic care about other humans, and ways just to make lives easier of those around us, right? Hospitality. Make people feel welcome. Okay, so it says, all of this is possible, but you must share your work publicly. You must overcome whatever limiting beliefs you have and embrace beginner hell. Yes, just be dumb enough to try it. It's not easy, but it is simple. And if you do this long enough, I promise you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Here's a great thing, is that these destinations that we think we need to achieve or reach, they're fake. They're fake. They don't exist. They don't exist. Tomorrow doesn't come. Yesterday's never coming back. Right now is all you got. So if you don't have it right now, don't expect it in the future. That's called counting your chickens before they hatch. Do you assume that you have money in your bank account before it arrives? No. So why? Why the fuck do we do that with our life and our, like, moments that, I don't know. Anyways, it's just silly to me. But it allows me to go ahead and show others how that they can find these solutions. Uh-oh. Either way, I hope you got some sort of value out of this. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of these sections. Hi. You want to smoke on that ganja? I don't like bugs or bees or whatever, but you know what you can't do? Panic, freak out. Energy carries. Don't make people freak out or feel uneasy when you walk into a room. Find ways to allow them to not even notice you if possible. I'm 6'3" and I'm invisible to a lot of people, even with my distinguishing hair, because I don't create a lot of fucking tight energy around me. Try to make myself approachable, sort of, or like non-threatening, which I learned in door-to-door sales. Another example that any kind of moment in your life can teach you something if you're willing to try to learn from it, if you're willing to work to understand it, I should say. I did a video when I started that's called Why We All Need to Struggle. It's because the struggle gives us the best moments of our lives. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Boom. Proven. So why are we going to get upset that we get hit with some sort of obstacle? That's crazy. It's only going to benefit us. So we have to learn to appreciate these hardships and learn to accept them, to make peace with them. Why? If you're getting bullied in school, accepting that they're just words is a great way to make a bully stop. We're being tested by all sorts of things, I'm sure. I don't know what God it is. Weak. But we are shown different scenarios in our lives. And if we stay true to ourselves, or if we're trying to make something happen, if we trust that it will happen and we are on our path, then you know what? It's a lot easier of a flow to live with. If you're just trying to do certain things to achieve certain things so that other people will see you a certain way, or other people will give you other opportunities, or XYZ, bro, you're going to be stressed. You're going to be motherfucking stressed. That's up to you. How do you want to live your life? A lifetime, a legacy is made, in my opinion, from a lifetime of small random acts of kindness. Not one grandiose gesture or one big purchase or one big decision. It's small things that you never thought would matter that end up making a lifetime worth living and worth remembering or being remembered for. Oh, side note also, as an addict who has substituted different activities and lifestyles to try to take the place of the addiction, faith is no different. Faith is absolutely no different. All right? If you're just going into whatever faith it may be, Christianity, Islam, whatever, and you're not able to understand that you may be just becoming addicted to another thing, whether it's good or not, too much of something is a bad thing. It can be. So just think about these things. To all my people that post themselves going to church on Sunday, fucking stop. Your faith is not meant to be shared with others. That's not what it's designed to do. If it was, I'm sure they would have charging ports in every fucking pew, right? So that you would be able to go ahead and film it. In fact, don't most churches and things have people that film the services and such so that people in them can really be present? I don't. Christianity is significantly deeper than most people even consider it. But because to consider it is to question it, then they won't. But I get it. Being comfortable, it's safe. Never going further than surface level, well, it protects us from the scary stuff, right? I'm sure. But who the fuck are you without the invention of anybody else, right? Who are you? Who am I? Boom, Instagram with another banger. Half the game is getting yourself out of environments that no longer serve you, friends who hold you back, relationships that drain you, jobs that keep you stagnant, habits that keep you small. It's time to level up and move forward. But how, right? You have to jump out of those circles of similar thought patterns and just words and ideas you absorb. You don't understand how often we get subliminally influenced to do things. When you wake up in the morning, the first 20 minutes that you're up, do not look at your fucking phone. The last 20 minutes before you go to bed, in fact, the last hour before you go to bed, turn your phone's white light, turn it on night mode so that it's an amber light and it's no longer putting blue light in your eyes, and you can go to sleep maybe sooner than you would if it was the white light that keeps people up. There's lots of little life hacks to go ahead and make things simpler and more I guess in line with what you were deserving of. But it takes work, and I don't know who all is ready to do that. Oh, this is great. I'm taking out the earbud for this one. We're going to put this mic close. Who gives a fuck? Okay. Yep. You can't lead and follow at the same time. Damn right. I don't follow anybody either. I follow the heavenly spirit. Yes. I follow God. Amen. Quite literally what I'm filming a rant on right now. Matthew Julio's with a banger. Okay, here we go. Here's another mindset thing. These are just things that I scroll upon. This mindset will help you overcome any situation. Tom Hanks is saying, this too shall pass. You feel bad right now? You feel pissed off? You feel angry? This too shall pass. You feel great? You feel like you know all the answers? You feel like that everybody finally gets you? And there you are? This too shall pass, and it fucking does. Time is your ally. And if nothing else, just wait. Just wait it out. It's so true. Oh, here's another one. I did a 40-hour and then a 70-hour social media fast. I've come to believe that social media is pollution. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I feel bad they're just realizing this. But at least they're realizing it. Okay. Not a vice or guilty pleasure. It's closer to water toxins, air pollution, and microplastics. I agree. Like other toxins, it accumulates. You can't unsee or unfeel what you've consumed. It settles into mental tissue like heavy metals, producing chronic low-grade inflammation. Evidence suggests even after you stop scrolling, attentional fragmentation and emotional priming persist. Your thoughts begin to mirror the algorithm's incentives. Independent cognition quietly erodes and you don't notice the loss. Time away and getting lost in deep focus is the only remedy. When something erodes your agency, the rational response is elimination. The problem is elimination isn't realistic. Just put the phone down is as practical as telling somebody in the 19th century London to stop breathing coal smoke. Also, when people stop using social media and their phones, it is similar withdrawal symptoms as cocaine addicts, I found out. You need to know what's happening in the world, be in touch with your friends, and be part of the tribe. That necessity is what allows companies to harvest your emotions, intellect, and time for their profit. You are their raw material they exploit. Then, in an ironic twist, the system gets you to exploit yourself by engineering an environment where it takes more effort to stop than continue scrolling. Pollution, exposure by default. What, you know what specifically makes social media toxic is that value and poison are inseparable by design. You go to hear from friends and you leave an hour later absorbed in outrage that serves no biological interest of yours. The water is real, the lead in the pipes. The lead is in the pipes. The performance metrics like views, likes, etc., they bleed you of independent thought. They create quantified social proof, triggering ancient hierarchy reflexes. You no longer evaluate signal from noise. The engagement metrics do it for you. Like all toxins, the damage is cumulative. We live inside the exposure long enough that it feels like normal. The 40 and 70-hour social media fast did that for me. Gave me just enough separation to feel and diagnose the poison. The obviousness of it feels like when I went to India and saw their humanitarian crisis of air pollution, which no one sees anymore. So what do? Neither platforms nor individuals are likely to change on their own. AI may be the countermeasure, an AI layer between you and the feed, filtering rage, removing vanity metrics, and translating sensationalism into calm, factual language, preserving signal and eliminating noise. I want social media to become a longevity intervention, not a longevity threat. I never want to see the raw feed. I want an AI agent to read it for me, strip the engagement metrics that hijack my judgment, filter the rage, and return only what I actually came for. Brian Johnson, you are crushing this post. Every generation faces its pollutants. When cholera spread through London's water, the answer wasn't telling people to drink less, it was building filtration. The same logic applies here. Best next move is to design the filter to avoid being the raw material. I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I don't know what else I can rant about other than, I appreciate you if you watch this. I don't know how much of it you saw. This is crazy. Okay. I know you don't post on social media because editing takes too long, but editing only takes too long because you kind of hate yourself. Oh, then I kissed the brick before I threw it. The act of editing it yourself feels violent to you because you've been editing yourself for your entire life. I'm not the social media guy, by the way. I don't really care. His name is Justin Schumann. Human is literally in his name. I'm not the social media guy, by the way. I don't really care about helping you grow your account or views. I'm the guy who would so much rather you use social media as a tool to actually start to like yourself. Maybe even like love yourself a little bit. Oh my God, if it's not one of those serendipitous moments that I was talking about. Would you say this is an aligned moment? And even if you think it's the algorithm or it's whatever, it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a real moment of alignment. I was just talking about this, and then boom, wait, at 11, oh my God, yep, 1 hour, 11 minutes, 11 seconds, boom. Thank you, universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it when these things happen. Okay, back to this thing because this is exactly what I do. There's approximately like 36 reasons why editing takes me forever. I'm gonna choose just a single one for this video, and if you're like, make parts 2 through 35, maybe he will. When you were younger, the first time somebody identified something about you that was undesirable or they didn't like you, should be hidden. Maybe it was the way you laughed, you changed your name because people couldn't spell it correctly, or you were tired of them mispronouncing it. You've been editing yourself for so long, every little rejection of self, every part of yourself that you've chipped away to make the world happy, that's editing. Now you're creating on social media, and the very self you, hold on, every part of yourself that you chipped away to make the world happy, that's editing. Now you're coming on social media. By the way, it says the way you share yourself on here isn't even who you really are. Huh, yeah, I know that most of y'all are full of shit. You don't believe half the things that you post about. It's obvious. You're coming here on social media, and the very self you be when you're on yourself on camera, well, that's already a reflection of the edit itself, right? Like, oh wait, all of a sudden, now you're coming on social media, and the very self you be when you're yourself on camera, that's already a reflection of that edit itself, right? Because all of a sudden, I'm gonna have access to this like truthful, honest version of you. Okay, that guy's a G. Anyways, I wonder if somebody is gonna wake up and want to smoke with me because that, now that would be a moment of alignment. And of course, the next story I see is from a Peruvian friend of mine, which you'll never convince me that the Peruvians aren't the best fucking people in the world. But it says, I choose to be grateful, kind, respectful, and in love with life and nature. She has done so much growth on herself. I'm so proud of her. Such a beautiful woman. These are the things you take pride in, the peace in. So proud of you. I love to gas people up online. Why? Because I don't know if they're going to, I don't know if I'll get tomorrow. The guy that complimented my hair, or my mom's hair in the grocery store when I was a kid, he told her that he liked the salt and pepper look. It made her day so much that I remember how much she was talking about it when she got home. It made everything. So what did I do? I remembered that that's how you make people's days. Little random acts of kindness is how we make the world a better place. As long as we pay forward the things that were graceful to us and kind of hold back on being as aggressive with others as we don't like others to be with us. You know what? Boom. Wait, this guy just came back up on my consistency killed my creativity. It just hit me. I think I finally understand why content creation is so difficult for me. It's because you've been doing it out of obligation, and I just want to say I see you, and I agree. I only enjoy creating content, and I've been doing it like the last 5 years when it feels intuitive to me. Nope, that's me. When it feels impulsive. Yep, that's me. When I have a spark and I'm like, I have to say something. Oh, that's me. Or I feel like sharing something. Yep, that's me. That's when I create. And especially over weeks, the last couple of weeks, as I really work to scale my business that I have built by being myself intuitively on social media, have I started to try and be like, okay, I have to dial in what I'm talking about and when I'm talking about it and what we can attribute the click-throughs or certain links to in terms of content. And like, while I understand logically that those things are very important, data and systems and repeatability such that your revenue, if you're leveraging content and social media as your means for lead generation. I don't remember where the sentence started, but I understand why those things are important. But to me, the worst thing is posting a piece of content and then it flopping when you didn't said what you believe what you said. I mean, you believe what you said, but you don't stand behind it. And like, I will dig my heels in and you can come for me. And I will fight till the day I die for that message. I share in that video, like this video, for instance, right? Like I went inside, I came back outside, and I'm going to sit down and read a book because I was like, no, I just feel so disenchanted with social media and my content. Mind you, I posted twice today already on Instagram and TikTok. And I'm going to post this right after. But I was like, why have I felt so off my game recently? And I was like, well, I've been doing it because I feel like I have to. And I haven't been waiting for the moments when I want to because I've been doing it because I feel like I have had to so many times. So the want can't even come through. I was like, oh my God, I have tried to systematize this thing. And this is the one thing in my business that cannot be operationalized. I do not want to be in a world or be a person who creates content if it means that I have to do it out of obligation. So that's fine. But that means that I have to be a person, and I don't care what this means in terms of the repercussions or consequences or ramifications in my business. I'll figure it out. But I have to be a person who does this only when it feels good and true and impulsive and intuitive. And I think the reason you hate content is because you haven't been waiting for that moment you want to. You've just been doing it so much because you feel like you have to, or you have to do it in a certain way, or your message has to sound like a certain thing, or has to be about this topic, or fit this pillar, or be inside this niche. And honestly, because your intuition and your impulses cannot even get a word in edgewise, I've actually fallen out of love with my content in the last month or so because I've been doing it so much because I feel like I have to. That's not the kind of content I want to make, and that's not the kind of creator I want to be. And if there's one note that we're going to end on, it is that one, because that's it. I gave myself 10 years to learn how to establish my voice of authority in the hospitality industry using a camera so that I can go ahead and put these suggestions and advice out there for people to go ahead and take more pride in this industry, right? Nobody can tell me they know more about hospitality and cares more about it than I do, because nobody spends as much time studying it from a city that is the most misunderstood. My content is only created in ways that people like Rick Rubin have been able to explain, or Benny Blanco. I'm unorthodox. I don't do it the way that everybody else does. I do it all backwards. My videos, they're all shot in a vibe, and then I find the music. I'm an audio idiot, but I'm lucky to know enough DJs that go ahead and guide me on these things. You know why? Because that's the flow. And what happens when I create with these artists is that we catch a flow. We're not forcing things, we're just vibing. boy Adam, same thing. His work is beautiful because he catches these moments and these vibes and he just creates. Now, my creating comes out of frustration when I think that people could be doing more. I think that they could be doing it more thoughtfully. They could do it more positively for themselves, and it just takes a little bit of extra thought. But then again, I also sometimes take 3 years to finish a video because I just don't have that vibe anymore. Oh well, that's life. I don't give a fuck. All I know is that I can reach more people, and finally this message I've been promoting for almost a decade of authenticity and just being yourself and being comfortable on camera because this is who you are every day. It's becoming more of a thing now. It's my time to shine, and it's time for those around me that have worked hard on themselves and have put in the effort to go ahead and grow themselves. It's time. It's time for us to all step into our truth. I fucking love you. I hope you've enjoyed this text talk and this background behind me. I am considering what I want to do a picture of for the thumbnail of this. I think I'm gonna go hop the fence though. Oh, let me just finish off this last journal. This is how my ADD works. Light the blunt. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Let's see. That's how I vibe. All right. We're here to contribute our value, our acquired skill sets, our unique perspectives, our individual talents. Don't lose them on conformity. Use them to create a world in which we all benefit. Whether it's solving problems others haven't tackled, practicing creativity daily even when inspiration feels distant, or pursuing a vision that others might not yet understand. Your role is to create what's missing, not replicate what already exists. And if there's something that's been very true, it's they'll call you delusional until you make it, at which point they will call you a visionary. You got to be okay with being called crazy because you know at your heart of hearts and your fucking gut that what you're going after is real. And now, after an hour fucking talk, I think it's time to wrap this shit up. I think that looked cool. Look. But what song should we put? I don't know. Maybe we'll catch a vibe right over here at the edge of the balcony. Mm. 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 I'd say I would miss my hair, but I'm excited. Thank you for everybody that has ever pushed me to be better. To Danny and Emmer, I miss you guys. Rest in peace, brothers, but I hope you're proud of the work that I've put in, the suggestions I listened to you finally. I'm always now on time to work, if not early. And I'm always trying to not only be better, but be Emmer. If you're seeing this, I love you, and you're worth putting the work into. Can't wait to hear your successes. All right, y'all. Y'all take care now, you hear?